Tonight on To The Point, hundreds of housing projects abandoned, the company behind them facing bankruptcy. But will it help people get their money back? Plus, a verdict reached. What will happen to officers involved in the death of Sacramento native Tyree Nichols?
Heat watches, warnings, and advisories across the state. How hot will get and for how long?
And later, how the home insurance crisis is now impacting the real estate industry.
Good evening. As always, thank you so much for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. We start tonight with continuing coverage following hundreds of abandoned housing projects. This week, the co-founder of Anchored Tiny Homes filed for bankruptcy. And tonight, ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen shares what this means for people hoping to get the money that they are owed. Right, Jeannie?
Well, Alex, experts tell me this bankruptcy filing is very clear. It means that Anchored Tiny Homes wants to be discharged from any and all debt that is owed. Now, as my reporting has shown, homeowners, subcontractors, and former employees believe that they're owed a lot of money. There are still some things people can do in order to try to get some of that money back.
I mean, they've taken an awful lot of money, from individuals. I mean, what have they done with it? I've seen, 300,000, 200,000. I mean, where is the money gone?
It's a question that many homeowners, subcontractors, and former employees of Anchored Tiny Homes wants to know the answer to. Where's the money?
This is very typical Chapter 7 case where the company simply wants to liquidate and not pay the creditors, unfortunately.
About 2 months after Anchored Tiny Homes announced its closure, the company's co-founder, Austin Paulus, filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Court records show the company owes more than $12.8 million and only has about $1.2 million in assets. While these numbers don't look good for people who are owed money, Linda Coco with the bankruptcy clinic at the McGeorge School of Law says those that are owed can file a claim with the courts.
They need to file a proof of claim in the case to have their claim and their identity recognized within the larger Chapter 7. They can file that down at the Eastern District of the Bankruptcy Court.
The filing lists nearly 90 pages of customers impacted by the company, with many of them showing they're owed only $1. ABC 10 spoke to dozens of people who say they're owed way more than just $1.
Just under $4,000 for the first project and about $6,500 for the second.
Coco says the proof of claim is important when assessing what is owed.
It's just a placeholder. It doesn't mean anything at all. Your proof of claim, when the creditor files the proof of claim, will be the place where the creditor can detail.
The filing comes with a long list of assets, including a dog. Coco says Paulus is required to list all assets, but can exempt certain items like his pet. This list also includes properties and a new car, but Coco says it still won't mean much.
They certainly own some expensive properties, but there are large bank liens against them. So the equity amount that would go to the estate, less any exemptions, right, is going to be far reduced.
Ultimately, will anyone get all of their money back?
In full is not likely at all in this case by any stretch. Very small amounts more likely.
I've reached out to the company's CEO, Colton Paulus, and Austin Paulus's attorney for comment multiple times, who said we're not able to comment on this matter right now, Alex.
Is there anything that people can do in the meantime or while they're waiting for this case to move forward?
Well, Alex, there is a meeting of creditors, so that means people who believe that they are owed money, they can go to this meeting, and that meeting will be held on Monday, October 28th, virtually. All the details on how you can attend to that meeting will be posted on our website at abc10.com.
Jeannie, thank you for the update, and you already know we'll continue to follow this. Turning now to a live look over downtown Sacramento. It's been a very hot week. Our weather team has been tracking several weather impact alert days. And Carly, those were just expanded into the weekend, I hear?
They were, and we are looking at now new record heat, the hottest October day on record for downtown Sacramento set today. Within just the last hour, 103 degrees. That is the new record. That record broken for the 102-degree day set in 1987. And the normal this time of year, you're asking what's normal? 84 degrees. We are far from that. Now, the most ever 100-degree plus days we've seen on record have been 5 for the month of October. That was set in 1980. If we do continue the trend of triple digits through the entire weekend, that would put us at 6. And now that 102-degree hottest day has been broken, is now 103, and the latest day we've ever seen triple-digit heat was October 10th, 1991. So luckily, I don't think we're going to be pushing triple digits on October 10th, so that's some good news. Heat advisory is in place through Saturday night. This may, depending on the National Weather Service, be issued one more day into Sunday, as right now computer models are showing we could see an extended heat into that Sunday with more triple digits. So the weather impact for you is that we could still see some potential record-breaking heat advisory, fire concerns, and limited cooling. We'll talk more about this coming up.
Thanks, Carly. New tonight, 3 former Memphis police officers have been convicted on charges of witness tampering in the 2023 fatal beating of Sacramento native Tyree Nichols. One officer, Demetrius Haley, was also convicted of violating Nichols' civil rights, causing bodily injury. The other 2 officers, Tadarius Bean and Justin Smith, were acquitted on all civil rights charges. The judge ordered the officers to be taken into custody. The witness tampering charges carry possible sentences of up to 20 years in prison. The man arrested in connection in the 1980 killing of Helen Terry made his first court appearance today. Robert Terry was arrested Friday, more than 40 years after Helen was found stabbed to death in her apartment. Her 1-year-old son was in the apartment when she was found. At the time, her son was believed to be the biological child of Robert, and the 2 had been part of a paternity suit. We spoke to Helen's brother after the hearing. Here's what he had to say about the arrest.
Well, my whole family was elated that finally we got some kind of closure, but we know it won't be complete until after the sentencing in the case. But right now we have a lot of gratitude for the Sacramento Police Department for what they've been doing. And like I say, it's been a long, long time, and we've been waiting, and we're going to wait it out till the end.
Robert Terry will be back in court on October 17th. As for Helen's son, who is now an adult, Sacramento police have not shared any new information. 10 teens have been arrested and are facing charges after Sacramento deputies say they vandalized Antelope Crossing Middle School. Deputies say the crimes were reported between April and July of this year, leading to property damage of more than $100,000. Deputies tell us that they are still looking for 2 more teens who were involved, and if you know anything, call the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office. Still ahead, a new look at the impacts of Hurricane Helene, what President Biden is doing, and plus what insurance crisis is doing to the real estate market and how you can be proactive.
Anywhere that's a moderate high fire hazard area, those are the areas where we start to see difficulty in obtaining policies.
Tonight, we're learning more about the devastating impacts from Hurricane Helene. Officials say at least 200 people have been reported dead and hundreds are still missing. Many across the southeast are still without power, food, and water. Satellite images show towns before and after historic flooding replacing grass and pavement with mud. It comes as President Biden today got an update from people on the ground and surveyed damage in Florida and Georgia.
Then I came here to Georgia to meet all of you to see firsthand how you're doing as well, because we're really in this together. We're separate states, but we're the United States of America.
Biden also flew over the devastation in North and South Carolina Wednesday. The administration has announced a federal commitment to foot the bill for debris removal and emergency protective measures. They have also sent 1,000 troops to assist with response and recovery efforts. Taking a look at our weather here locally, let's get over to meteorologist Carly Gomez, because you are still tracking some weather impact alert days here for us heading into the weekend.
Right. We've now extended to one more day as we are looking at computer models showing we're seeing another day on Sunday with potential for triple-digit heat. Around 99 to 102 degrees may be possible in the valley. So that's now through Sunday with our weather impact alert. The impact is for hot, dry conditions, which could also fuel fires with the dry grass. We have been seeing a lot of grass fires popping up around the region as of today and yesterday even. Now, the need for you is to just take care of you and your family. Hydrate, find shade in and out periodically throughout your weekend. I know a lot of people do things on the weekend out and about, but make sure you're finding time to find some shade and air conditioning. Now, the record hot year is already continuing. As we saw yesterday, now 47 days has come to 48 days with highs of 100 degrees or more within one given year. Now, previously, the record was 44 days, set in 2022. Now, normally the average is 24 days. So 24 days with triple-digit heat, we have now doubled that number. This is a new record for us with the most days of triple digits in a single year. Now, looking at our calendar so far, the first 3 days of the month have shown to be triple digits. We'll have to wait and see whether Friday, Saturday, and Sunday also produce triple-digit days, because if that's true, that would put us at 6, the most days in October with triple digits. The previous record right now is 5. High pressure is in place, a lot of heat across the region. No low pressure getting close to us to cool us down. So unfortunately, we're going to have to wait until we get into next week to see some cooler temperatures. Now, some concern for the higher elevations up and over the Sierra Crest there, especially to the northeast portion of the state, where there is a red flag warning for strong wind gusts, which could fuel and push fires even further if anything does break out. For the valley, light winds about 10 miles per hour. We'll continue seeing that, though, as we move through the weekend. Looking at your 10-day forecast, we do have the next 3 days with weather impact alert here with potentially triple digits with mid-90s by Monday. And then looking into next week, we have some 80s and maybe even potentially a 70 on Friday.
Next, on To the Point, how the state's insurance crisis is now impacting home sales. Plus, an inside look at what Sacramento State's new football stadium could look like and what it'll include. And then later in the show, we're answering your questions ahead of the November election. Continuing coverage tonight of California's home insurance crisis. The dramatic drop in policy availability and affordability is now impacting the real estate industry. ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha explains how you can now ease the headache on your next purchase.
Homeownership comes with many benefits. Getting insurance used to be a bump in the road, but with the ongoing California insurance crisis, some areas are feeling it harder than most.
Usually was almost an afterthought in our transactions. And now I'm advising my clients on day one, start trying to shop for insurance.
Erin Stump, a Sacramento realtor for Caldwell Banker Realty, has seen the change over her 19-year experience.
The landscape for insurance in California has changed quite a bit.
And that is why the California Association of Realtors purchase agreement now has a specific contingency for insurance, allowing the buyer to cancel the contract if they're not satisfied with the insurance options and cost available to them. Real estate officials report difficulties in getting their client an insurance policy. Stump says in Sacramento that really hasn't been an issue, but when you start getting outside of it, it's a different story.
Anywhere that's a moderate high fire hazard area, those are the areas where we start to see difficulty in obtaining policies. But it's even becoming a little bit of a problem in our suburban and urban areas too. If a property is older, if a property has aging plumbing or electrical, or maybe an older roof, or trees that encroach on the structure, those things can all be problematic when trying to get an insurance policy.
ABC 10 has been reporting on California's growing homeowner insurance crisis, which has seen companies like State Farm and Allstate stop accepting new applications. And this is the latest ripple effect.
You just have to be more proactive earlier in the process.
In Sacramento, Garshpal Sangha, ABC 10.
Now, if you're looking for a home, it is recommended to find a good realtor and insurance agent to navigate the changing landscape. For existing homeowners, experts say that you should be proactive, which means doing repairs and trimming trees to prevent receiving a non-renewable notice from the insurance company. And for months, we have been speaking to homeowners across our region about how all of this is impacting them. We've also sat down with California members of Congress asking what's being done. Watch California's home insurance crisis, a To the Point special investigation next Thursday at 6:30. A big boost is coming to Sacramento's Meadowview neighborhood. Today, Congresswoman Doris Matsui announced $3 million in funding for clean energy upgrades. The funding announced today will go towards electrifying 300 homes, and it's part of SMUD's neighborhood electrification project, which hopes to fully electrify homes. Sacramento State has been on a roll, making huge athletic announcements as the campaign for Pac-12 conference continues. The new renderings were revealed for Sacramento State's new stadium. While there is no official timeline of when the stadium will be built, Sac State Athletic Director Mark Orr says that he would love to see football along with rugby, soccer, and other sports in play by 2026. The new stadium will not have a track. Instead, they will upgrade an existing facility with brand new track and seatings. Many students are wondering if they are paying for all of this or if their fees will be impacted.
That are being dedicated to these projects are not coming from the university's general funds. These are funds that are dedicated to athletics through philanthropic gifts or corporate sponsorships or designated athletic revenues.
Orr also says that student tickets will continue to be free even with the new stadium. He also says that student fees are locked in for the next 3 years. Turning now to Your Voice, Your Vote. The battle over abortion rights in the forefront today after former First Lady Melania Trump has revealed she supports the right to an abortion. Her announcement previews an upcoming memoir and comes as the Harris campaign puts reproductive rights front and center this election.
Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
Former President Donald Trump has repeatedly bragged about handpicking 3 of the Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe v. Wade. 20 states have banned or severely restricted abortion access. On the campaign trail, Vice President Harris has tried drawing a line between Democrats and Republicans' visions for the future of reproductive rights.
1 in 3 women in America lives in a state with a Trump abortion ban. Many with no exceptions even for rape and incest. It is immoral.
My party, we've got to do so much better of a job at earning the American people's trust back on this issue where they frankly just don't trust us. And I think that's one of the things that Donald Trump and I are endeavoring to do.
Meanwhile, Trump spent the day campaigning in Michigan, Harris in Wisconsin, alongside Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney. ABC 10 is working to connect you with the information that you need to vote in this upcoming election. Our team is taking your questions and getting you answers. Here's reporter Brandon Ritteman.
James reached out to us with an election question I'm guessing a lot of you have. He wanted to know just who actually does the counting. Thanks for asking, James. We can show you what it looks like in Sacramento, but the process is going to be pretty much the same in every county around California, and machines do a lot of the heavy counting work. All of that happens in a secure room on computers that are not connected to the internet. Inside the counting room, there's no way to tell who any ballot belongs to. Your name and your signature go on the envelope outside. That's getting checked before your ballot ever goes inside the counting room. The ballots work by bubbling in your votes, just like those Scantron tests we all loved in school. And if the machine finds any irregularity, say you skipped voting on some of the races, or you erased a bubble, filled in a different one instead, you drew a check mark instead of filling in the bubble, that's when human beings get involved. A pair of election judges, these are trained county election workers, they will look together at the issue that was flagged by the scanning machine. The 2 judges are not allowed to belong to the same political party, so it's always going to be one Democrat, one Republican, or one independent voter and a Republican or Democrat. They're going to follow the law to determine what the voter intended. They'll mark up a new ballot with the votes and send it back to the scanning machine. The scanner loads all of the votes into a counting computer, and the results sit there in that computer memory as raw data until after the last polls close on election night. Only at that time is the election office allowed to tell the computer to add up all the results. The polls will close at 8 p.m. election night. Usually we start to get those results about 15 or 30 minutes later.
And if you have questions of your own, you can send them right to us right now. Just head over to abc10.com/vote and you will find our survey where you can tell us what else you want to know about voting and the election. Stay with us. We're back after this short break. This weekend is the 61st annual Greek Festival in Sacramento. The festival runs Friday until Sunday along Alhambra Boulevard, and it is a full weekend of food, fun, and entertainment. Tours of the church will also be available along with cooking classes, and organizers tell us there's inside seating and air conditioning to help you beat the heat this weekend because we know that there's a weather impact alert. As always, thank you so much for watching and for inviting us into your home. If you have something that you think we should be looking into, just reach out to me and the team in remember, strangers are people we just haven't gotten the chance to meet yet, so take the time to get to know someone. And To the Point does not end here. To watch stories featured right here on our show, download our free ABC 10 Plus app wherever you stream. Have a great night. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To the Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.